Hello, my name is Evan. I have interviewed my neighbor who went through college. She supported herself. She had no financial help from her mother, her parents, anyone. She became a nurse, and she has 2 kids, and she's very successful. And it's a pretty powerful story.
My name's Janine Razumov. I'm Evan's neighbor.
So you went through college supporting yourself.
Yes, I did.
How was that?
It wasn't probably what most kids in this neighborhood would experience because they have a lot of financial support, and that wasn't my experience growing up. I lived in a middle-income neighborhood, and college wasn't automatically assumed for everybody like it is here. My parents divorced right at the time that I'd be looking at that. There really was no money for school, and actually for my mother, who I was living with at that moment, there wasn't any extra for anything. She put a roof over my head, and there was food in the refrigerator if I happened to be home, but other than that, I took care of everything else. So if I wanted to go to school, I had to get creative, and I had to work really hard. Again, starting with zero. I mean, we're not talking about a low parental financial contribution. We're talking no parental financial contribution. She had to worry about paying her bills, her utilities, and that sort of thing. So what I did is I got a job. I worked at Budget Rent-A-Car at the airport, renting cars to people. And I also figured out that I looked at some of the higher priced private schools, but the tuition was so crazy high that I just tossed the paperwork away and said there's no way I'd be able to afford to pay this back. So what I did was I started out in junior colleges. And when you go to a JC, I figured I'd do all my let me back up a minute. I figured that I would go to a junior college and do a lot of my run-of-the-mill general ed courses and then transfer to a university for my major. The problem with that is that you don't know what school is going to accept you. So if you want to apply to more than one school, they all have slightly different requirements. So there was a point where I was going to 3 junior colleges at one point and taking 18 to 22 units and working over 32 hours a week, sometimes 40, whatever I could fit in. 7 days a week I was somewhere. I was either at school or I was at work. That's all I did. I was finally accepted into the program of my choice, and I started my nursing program and was luckily able to go to one school, which was very happy. And again, 7 days a week I was working full-time and taking 18 to 22 units. It was tough, but at the end of it, I lost my job, which was tough, and I went into the financial aid office, and that was the only financial aid I've received. I got one $2,500 loan.
If you could have one thing when you were going to college, what would it be?
Sleep. I know that sounds crazy. I mean, you'd sit there and say, oh, I wish I had a lot of money. I looked at it like people who...
Because if you had more sleep, you could work better at your job.
I could do everything better. That was the thing. I mean, I also gained 15 pounds during that because I didn't have time to exercise. I slept literally 4 or 5 hours a night. So I could either sleep or exercise. So that's when I stopped being athletic because I just needed a certain amount of sleep or I was going to, drop dead. So... This is the thing is that when people say that they can't go to school, it's too tough. I look at them and I say, it's how badly do you want it?